of, being conscious of what you put out there.
You're probably good at this.
coolest-
I never know what I'm worth when I go. And I once went to, I think it was VidCon, and I went to a Harley seminar, and I sat down, and I was like, Harley, how do you know how much you're worth? And I'm like, sometimes I don't know if me mentioning something is worth 500, 5,000, 50,000. What should a thing cost? And you're like, I just ask for all the money. How much money? All of it. I want all of your money. That's what you told me. And it was good, and it was definitely funny, but I didn't know how to use it. Yeah.
No, that's not like, that's so funny because like back then, like I'd be in character for those things, so you couldn't get anything useful out of me because I was like, oh, what do you? I'm like, you just fuck it, like that's a real thing. So like, I mean, now still like you think about what you're worth. Like the thing is, like I don't, I've gotten paid to do an Instagram post before, and I'm like, damn, I'm like, you get paid this to do like an Instagram post because I have 300,000 followers. I'm like, that's so cool. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But then a year and a half later, it's like, why am I still getting paid the same amount even though I have like 550,000 followers on Instagram now? Shouldn't I get paid more? But at the same time, I'm just posting a fucking picture. How could I even ask for more than, whatever? So you always stop and think. And the one thing that always, before Epic Mealtime, like I was a teacher, you know what I mean? It was 1 year of work, Monday to Friday with fucking crazy kids. Well, they were actually awesome kids. I was lucky. But, Monday to Friday, and I'm like, at the end of the year, like, you make $35,000. And so when I put that in perspective to everything I do, I'm always like, well, I should be happy that they want to give me $100 to suck all their dicks.
Yeah.
I should be happy about this. You never stop and then get like, because you almost feel like a diva when you're like, I should get more. Because you're already a part of me personally is already like, well, that's kind of a lot for that to post a fucking picture. That's like nothing. But then you think about it's a tricky thing. What your worth is definitely something that, I think even people don't know now. That's what makes this place and this job so exciting is people don't know. I have people quote me one thing and then other people literally it'll be like 10 times more. And I'm like, you guys are asking for the same thing and you're on completely different pages. I'm doing both, but still.
It depends which industry you're working with too. Like if you're working with movies and game developers, then it's one ballpark. If you're dealing with somebody who makes a product like a flashlight or something or a firearm, you're in another category. It's all different, and it can't, like you said, it can be tenfold sometimes. One guy wants to pay $1 million for something, and one guy wants to pay $1,000 for something, and they're virtually the same thing.
Which is why I'm starting up my makeup channel.
Oh God! Oh, if I thought I could make a cosmetics channel right now and just get 250,000 subscribers, I'd end it all. That's all I do. I would change genders immediately. Fucking, I'd be a millionaire 10 times over by the end of this
Every episode
year.
is going to look like one of those. My boyfriend does my makeup.
Well. Those CPMs are so fucking high. The product placement is so like perfect because like your whole perfect.
It's like, yo, look what I bought at the mall, and you like dump a bag on your bed, and you're like, ta-da, and like that's the video. It gets 3 million views.
It's built-in advertising because the people watching you apply makeup want to know what kind of makeup you're using. They're hungry to learn about new types of cosmetics.
It's huge now too. Kids toys.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
They're like,
what? So
it's like DC Toys getting like 35 million views. It's like a fucking 5-year-old on daddy's iPad, like boop.
Dude, you're right, and
every fucking day, and like advertisers like pumping commercials and that shit, like it was Saturday morning cartoons. You know what I mean?
People gave me so much. I used to do a series where I put things in microwaves and microwaved them, and it was like things that would explode. I did shotgun shells, bullets. I did spray paint cans. A lot of times it'd be fires and stuff coming out of it. And my daughter Hope and I would do like the setup, like, oh, this time we're doing CO2 cartridges, and people acted like I was the devil. But when I see these 12-year-olds doing product reviews and such, and it's professionally done and such, it's like these are real child actors. I guess it's not bad. I don't know what to make of it, but it's definitely like someone's pulling the strings there.
Money, let them do it.
Well, I was thinking like DC Toys is like a woman's hands. And it's just her hands like opening up like little toys. It's like a trip, and it has like 28 million views. And sometimes like I look at some videos And like, you know what? One thing I rarely ever do is I never go and I'll never look at another YouTuber and I'll be like, shit content, you're garbage. You know, I'm always like, I look at it. If I don't like it, I'm like, maybe I'm too old. Like that's where I got to. I got to that point where I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, this isn't shit. Just whatever is good and whatever is shit to me doesn't matter anymore. There's a new standard or whatever. But like, I look at some videos and it's not like I bash the art of it or whatever. I'm just always like, how the fuck does this? Like,
I know,
a
it's
perfect
like
example.
the PewDiePie effect. Like, I tried, and I realize it's for younger people, but I also feel the way you do, where it's like, how the fuck is this as big as it is?
Imagine me.
PewDiePie, I gotta say, PewDiePie, check out YouTube Academy. It's the first thing I've ever watched of his. Where I was like, this is hilarious. Like it was like he has like 3 episodes, and I'm like, I love this. I'm like, this is funny to me. I'm like, look at me. I'm like, I'm fucking hip. I'm like watching a PewDiePie video and enjoying myself. I'm like, I get the kids these days. But his YouTube Academy ones are good, and he did a couple vlogs, and his vlogs were really funny also.
I like PewDiePie, the guy. I don't know him, but based on what I've seen, I like his Vanity Fair interviews, and some of the times when he talks about money, or he did a video about turning off comments and stuff, and I like that stuff a lot. His mainstream content that everybody likes, I don't hate it at all. Just like you, I just say I'm not his demo. I bet if PewDiePie were to somehow run across this, he'd be like, yeah, that's a 42-year-old dad. Like, that's not my demo, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And a perfect example also is like, you know, like I find Roman Atwood vlogs very interesting. He has one that he did like this past summer where he's like, yo, it's a 360-degree vlog. You know, check it out, you know?
I saw that,
and
I think.
It has 15 million views. And like, I look at that and I'm like, oh my God. Like, you put up a fucking 360 video camera in the middle of your living room and you got 15 million views. That's like what I got paid as a teacher working full time, and you fucking post it up in your living room. I look at stuff like that and I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, top Viners, some serious knowledge.
Yeah, they make a ton, don't they?
A top Viners integrated Vine can sell for $70,000 to $100,000. So like, you see your favorite Viner and he's like, ba-da-ba, Smarties. That 6 seconds was $80K in his pocket. And maybe he paid like a couple other Viners $1,000 to $5,000 to revine it just to pump it up a bit. But like, that's ultimately like, he's netting, you know, what I made a full year as a teacher in like 1 6-second video, like shooting Smarties in his mouth or whatever.
The money,
you know, it's just,
the money can be crazy. I have, you mentioned teachers. I have a couple relatives who are teachers, and it often sinks home with me. Like usually I don't make it in a thing, but I'll have like a weekend or something that's like, ah, shit, this weekend was a teacher's annual salary. Like that's crazy.
it is. It's a wild thing, and that's what always puts things in perspective for me. And I also, you know, I work very close with, you know, my brother's my partner, and he's not on the show, and he's got a family, so like it's like all very grounding. Like, I'm fortunate in the sense that I'm like, man, if Epic Mealtime blew up for me 2 years before even, I'd be a fucking idiot. I would have been such a moron, you know? I'm kind of lucky where it happened to me in my life. And, you know, I kind of surround myself with good people. So it all ends up, all in all, being a good thing. But, you know, I always think about how close I could have been to fucking this up.
Dude, there in the gaming community, there are a lot of people who you see just blow money on like amazing cars or drugs, or, you know, and it's like these guys got too rich too early in their life, and now it's gone. And I think they'll look back forever and be like, wow, now I have a 30-year mortgage on a $250,000 house that I pay off month after month after month. I shuffle money around. It's like so hard. Whereas I made $250 in 2 months, you know, back in the day. And now I'm spending a lifetime.
Some of those stories are like legitimately sad, of those people who were like all-stars when we first started getting paid for machinima with our like not great CPMs, but half decent. And they were huge, making like $30,000 a week. And now you go to their channel and it's like they're getting 7,000 views a video. They've lost everything, and every video is like a 10-minute long segment of how they're gonna get back on track with uploading, and like, hey, just coming back to, you know, this time's for real. I got plans for these series.
Are you talking about X-Jaws?
You
just described
X-Jaws.
X-Jaws.
There's a couple more, But
Yeah,
it's
poor-
sad. I feel
you know,
I don't know him very well.
But I thought,
do
Were you
know
thinking
what,
of that one?
I ran into him actually not too long ago, but didn't he like just stop? Wasn't he like, yo, I'm out of the game. I don't want to do this anymore. I want
Yeah,
to
he
work
just
behind the
quit.
scenes on stuff.
He
There's more to it than that. Kyle knows the whole story. I'm sure Woody does too.
I don't want to like throw his business all out there, but you know, he tried to do other things. He tried to make money. I know he was doing a thing where he was trying to like represent like real celebrities like Bieber and other rappers and stuff like on social media. Be like a social media advisor, if you will, or something like that.
Soldier Boy. I met
Yeah?
him. Yeah, I would go to Soldier Boy's house, and he would be there sometimes.
Well, and you know, I think
What a weird thing. That see him there,
Yeah.
like
right?
It wasn't like, what are you doing here? It was like kind of like I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I actually, for the life of me, cannot remember why I was at Soldier Boy's house.
That's okay. Neither can Sam. So things, you know, and Sam's like 10 years younger than us, even like so like he was just way too young to be sucked into that, and I think it, you know, the vices got the better of him, and he got a little out there and started getting into some nonsense, and he really got a little loopy there at the end. I'm sure he's fine now. I bet he's gotten back grounded, and he's.
I saw him not too long ago. He looked great. He looked very healthy and everything.
That's good.
Not anything that I could say. I don't, you know, I don't know him. I forget where I saw him recently, but it was in the last like 2 months. But you know, I have this thing like. I see people going on their social media, their YouTube, whatever, and being like, yeah, you know, I'm out the game, blah blah, or I'm gonna do this, that, and I like, you know, not anyone specific, but I have a general thought of many people, and this was something that like I remember watching YouTube in, you know, 2006, 2007, 2008, like so early, and watching, and I'd be like, man, people watch this, you can get that, that's so crazy, and I did like so many channels before Epic Mealtime. And then when Epic Mealtime happened, I was so like, I'm gonna cherish this thing. This thing is so valuable, and this number of subscribers, not in a competitive manner, is important to me in the sense that these are all the people that have clicked for me. Like, I gotta give them something. And I'm so lucky that this many people ever wants or want to, or that there's a percentage of this people that still, or anything, I'm just gonna cherish it. And when I see people like, you know, be like, oh yeah, I'm done with YouTube, I'm kind of like, how could you? You know, or even someone on Vine, if they're not doing their Vine, I'm like, how could you? Like, so many people, do you know how lucky you are that you have this, and how many, there's like there's, you know, you have, you know, X million followers, subscribers, or whatever, or likes, and, you know, there's 10 times million more people that want what you have. And like, you have it, and so to change up, it's like whatever you're doing, I almost feel like if you've made the commitment to social media, whatever you're doing or wherever you're going to go in your life, like, bring them with you, let them see, let them do whatever, you know. Like, I was thinking of that girl who just, you know, her Instagram, she came out and she was like, yeah, this picture, I took it 1,000 times to make sure it looked good. You know what I'm talking about? That girl, she deleted her Instagram and stuff. Oh, there was this girl, I had never heard of her, but she was an influencer on Instagram with like 600,000 followers, and she was like, I'm deleting my YouTube and all my blah blah blah, and she deleted her Snapchat and everything, and she has all these subscribers and everything, and then she went back on all her Instagram photos and changed the caption to be like, where it was like day at the beach, she changed it to like, I took 100 pictures this day making sure my stomach looked perfect, and